Hello Guardians, it is Ebontis. In this video, I want to give you kind of a general guide to make Guardian games as easy and smooth as possible for you. First thing that's going to happen is you're going to come up to Evil Levante and she's going to give you your class item. Equip it and leave it there. I will tell you, I have already switched loadouts, forgot to put my class item on, gone to do an activity, and I did not get the medallion that you get for end of activity completions to drop because my smart butt forgot to have my class item equipped. So my recommendation, copy a loadout that you like using to another slot with your class item equipped for Guardian games and just leave it there. Make a couple. If you got a PvP and a PvE one, which you'll be doing some PvP in this, heads up. Just make sure you leave this thing on there and then that will help you make sure you don't forget it. So put the class item on and leave it there. All right, so now that you know to keep your class item glued on you, the next thing you have to do with Evil Levante is buy a card. And it's any of these. There are 5 contender cards, which earn you gold medallions worth 5 points. And then there are platinum cards, which get you platinum medallions for 15 points. So obviously you want to do these as much as possible, but you can only hold 1 PvE card, which you can see I've already got 1 PvE card equipped because it's yelling at me, and 1 PvP card. Well, Trials is only over the weekend, so if you're playing in the middle of the week, my recommendation, unless you just love Gambit, pick this one up, and you'll knock it out as you play Supremacy, because you are going to want to play Supremacy or some of the event challenges, and we'll cover that a little bit later. But Supremacy is the event for this. It's connection-based, so I know some people are having fun in there. It's not a bad little event. Supremacy is always kind of fun. It's like Kill Confirmed. But if you're playing PvP at all, which you'll probably be doing some, just pick this one up right now. Next thing you need to do is go do an activity completion for Evil Levante. So literally go up here, choose a Supremacy match, and get your progress started on that one. These are the strike playlists. This is like recreational, just kind of goofing around on literally Vanguard Ops at 1600 power level. This is the one you're going to spend most of the time in to get points, and I'll explain a little bit more about points later in the video, because there are some pointers to help you get more points when you run through a strike. Whether you're coordinated or solo, you can still get more points. But do one activity, whatever it is. I mean, it can be here. You could go do probably a public event. You could go do a basic strike, but my recommendation, don't waste your time. Just do some of the Guardian game stuff and get working on that. Once you do that, your activity completion in and of itself is going to give you a silver or a bronze medal. You're going to take that medal, and you come back, and Eva's going to say, go over here and deposit it. Well, once you deposit it into there, you're going to come back to Evil Levante, and she is going to tell you to claim your first event challenge. Right here, your limited time event challenge, you're going to claim this one. In it to win it, and it is going to give you the title SMG, and I recommend doing this ASAP because the title SMG that you get from it is very good. Now, I don't know if it's exactly like this one, but I saw somebody else in a raid group that I raid with, and they said they got all of the exact same perks, literally. Arrowhead Break, Small Bore, Ricochet, Light Mag, Envious, Perpetual Motion, Repulsor Brace, and Rangefinder. This is a great PvP role. This is a solid PvE role, so you get actually a really good weapon. The only difference that me and the other player had was the Masterwork. They got range, which is even better for PvP. I got reload speed, which is fine. It's a very good role to start. So you'll get that out of the gate, which is quite nice. You're going to come, your Evil Levante is then going to tell you to go talk to Zavala. E is going to give you the strike scoring quest. And this is related to the Guardian Games playlist. You work, and this is like set up for 3 weeks. So notice it's quest step 4 of 15. 1 through 5 is week 1. 6 through 10, week 2, and so on. And basically, you just have to get a certain number of points in strike scoring. Once you get a platinum score, you'll be done with this quest for the week. And then the same thing after that, she's going to tell you to go over to Shax over there. And he is going to give you the Supremacy quest. Now, the Supremacy quest is its total points, but you don't have to do well in a PvP match. It's just an accumulation of score over time. So the more matches you play, the more this thing is going to go up. I played like 3 or 4 matches. I'm up to 671. Won a couple, lost a couple, got some kills. And again, your score might honestly be just the round score, but I can't figure out what the score is coming from. Either way, play like 5 or 6 matches. You're going to need to play quite a bit. And again, if you don't want to burn out right now, see how this is quest 4 of 15. Once I get the score threshold for this week, you're going to need to come back and do this next week if you care about it. So if you want to finish this quest and get the reward, which is going to be a drop of a weapon, which you'll probably see plenty of, you'll have to do this over the course of the 3 weeks to complete the quest. Up to you if you want to, not required, but if you want to actually complete the quest, you'll have to do it each week for both of those. So that is the PvP one, is an accumulation. This is based on per, like, a singular run. The higher the score in one specific run, you want to get over 175,000 points on one strike, and then you'll be good for the week. And then once you do those, you'll notice you'll come up here and you'll be able to grab your rewards. So on the left-hand side, this is the PvP one. I'm pretty sure. PvP or PvE, I could get these backwards, but these are going to be where you collect your rewards. And then over here is the other side, where you get your bronze, your silver, your gold, and then once I get platinum on the next one, then you're going to be picking up your rewards there. I'm pretty sure the platinum platforms on these are both weapon drops, so it's worth knocking it out one time per week. It's an easy drop to get. And once you're done with that, you come back to Evil Levante, and she will give you your first Taraxipos. And it's a pretty decent roll. Zen Moment, pretty good in PvP right now. Explosive Payload, Kill Clip. It's a reasonable roll to start. And once you're done with that, you are done with Evil Levante's quest. Everything else is about farming and trying to support your team. Titans seem to be winning the first day. Shout out to Lance Riddick for that one. But again, you'll be running around. And if you have the highest score in the tower currently, you're going to be all sorts of glowy. If you have the platinum threshold for both of them, you'll have the shoulders glowing as well. So that's what all those glows are. So now let's talk about a couple more things. First is going to be event challenges. Pretty simple. All of this is cosmetic and optional. Now, granted, the triumphs are the same ones that you need for the seal. So if you're going for the seal, you'll be doing basically all of this anyway. If you care about the cosmetics, it's up to you. Remember, when you upgrade the event card, it is 1,000 silver, and it guarantees you these rewards. And then if you go through and do the triumphs for the tickets, if you have upgraded the event card and paid the silver, you will be able to spend those tickets on these remaining items. So just hopefully that's clear. Totally optional for cosmetics. But for your triumphs and for the seal, you've got class points earned. Literally turning in medallions at the tower podium gets you bronze, silver, gold. So it just literally takes more medallions to complete each objective. Complete contender and platinum cards. I covered those briefly, but the platinum cards are the ones that are going to be pretty quick and farmable. And then the contender cards, you probably should have one if you're playing PvP just to knock that one out occasionally. Defeat targets with scout rifles. Honestly, it's up to you, but I would recommend probably using that Taraxipos scout rifle that she gave you. You also need strand final blows. So if you're using that in PvP a little bit, practice with it, you'll get some of the progress here. Also run a strand subclass as much as you can first. That is going to help you make progress on this one. So if you're farming enemies at Shirochi, or if you're doing the Neptune thing that I have in the other video, use your strand subclass, because typically that's one of those things that's going to count, and that's going to help you speed through this one. Over here, defeat targets in Supremacy or, the Strike playlist. Complete Supremacy or the Strike playlist activities. Complete Gambit, Crucible, or Supremacy. Hence why I say Supremacy. Play Supremacy enough so you don't have to play it anymore if you don't want to. So do it first and knock it out. Complete the Guardian Games Ops Nightfalls. That's the competitive playlist. Now this week it is on Neptune, which also counts over here. Complete activities on Neptune. So if you're doing the Guardian Games Ops playlist, this week it's going to count for both. Otherwise you got to do, patrols, partitions, whatever other stuff you're doing on there. I would probably try and do it this week, since the Vex Network Strike is going to be on Neptune anyway. Earn points in specifically Supremacy. Hence why I'm saying not go play Quick Play or Clash. Go play Supremacy. It's part of Guardian Games. It's actually a pretty fun mode. And if you pick up crests and defeat opponents, you have to pick up the crests. So run around and pick up those crests. It's going to help your team. That'll work there as well. Defeat targets with Guardian Games weapons. So you literally already are given a scout rifle and an SMG. And if you want to equip a heavy weapon, just for entertainment value, and some of you may not have this. If you're new, there is an exotic that Evil Levante will have a quest for. It's called Heir Apparent. Probably has 2 quest steps. It's mostly about using machine gun kills, if I remember correctly, but I can't see the quest anymore. It's been years. But I recommend picking this weapon quest up and doing it while you're doing all this. And since this is a Guardian Games weapon, hence the little emblem over there, it should count as well. So if you need a heavy weapon, that one should count too. Not required by any stretch, but just so you guys know it's out there. So on this page, so use Guardian Games weapons. Use the scout rifle, use the SMG when you're in PvP. Just play with those weapons for a while, and you'll be able to get, a lot of this stuff knocked out. Make your grinding efficient. That's all I'm saying. Complete Dares, Vanguard Ops, and Defiant Battlegrounds. Now, I don't know if this is meant to work, but the competitive playlist, when I did that one, counted for this. Counted on Neptune this week because the Strike is the Vex Network, and it counted right here. So I would definitely recommend playing the competitive playlist because it's also going to knock this one out at the same time. Finally, if you're done, you get a couple really nice currencies for everybody, so benefits there. That's the event challenge. Just try and be efficient. Use the Guardian Games weapons. Do Supremacy and do the Guardian Games competitive playlist, and you'll be able to check a lot of these boxes. Then when all the rest of that stuff's done and you're just farming like platinum medallions, then those farms I told you are efficient for that. Finally, when it comes to strike scoring, the biggest thing that you're going to do for strike scoring to really help your points is get all of these medals. Things like sprees, rampages, and frenzies, like killing multiple combatants rapidly with one damage type or an ammo type. So I got a heavy spree, heavy rampage, heavy frenzy, that kind of thing. Without dying, defeat 30 combatants with with mid-range weapons. So set yourself up if you got like pulse rifles or hand cannons or fusions or machine guns. I went machine guns and have a good machine gun build for that. Knock this one out pretty easily. If you want to do rocket launchers or if you want to do swords or glaives, totally up to you. Use whatever works for you. Not dying is beneficial. Whole team not dying is beneficial. Getting kills with grenades or melees or supers, that's going to get you some. And then here you come to all of your like rapidly defeating enemies with stasis or shatter damage or all of these things. Strand abilities, arc abilities, void. Here's a void right here. Void damage from your weapons or abilities. So when I'm using a void machine gun and I'm getting a whole bunch of like volatile flow explosions, cool. Void frenzy is pretty easy to proc for me. One of the biggest point recommendations that I can tell you, you're going to defeat some champions, but they count as a powerful enemy. Defeat a powerful combatant with a finisher. Try and finish every single orange bar enemy that you can find. And, this is back from last year, do an emote before you finish the enemy. And all of these together will give you definite major points when you do a champion. Champion's like 6k, and then these add up. It used to be a lot. I don't know if the points are still the same. It used to be almost like 10k for like finishing a champion with an emote beforehand. So if you're really going for point efficiency, trying to get in that like top 10%, you're going to need to coordinate with a team. You need to finish every powerful, that is every orange bar enemy. Do an emote for like emote first, then finish. Basically give it a half a second to make sure it registers the emote. And then go over there and finish them, and you're going to get a lot of points. Other than that, it's just crossing the thresholds and getting your points. But this is the biggest thing for points, is champions are good. Obviously, every champion's important. But every single orange bar, because there's a lot of them that are not champions, finish them and do an emote right before you finish them. Other than that, it's just kill things with sprees, find a build that works for you, find a subclass that works for you. Like if I'm going volatile flow, then I'm going to want to make sure my super is going to be offensive. Make sure everything is offensive, because like a bubble or a well, probably not going to work the same. Me, I like machine guns, so I've got a build for that one. If you're using your scout rifle, bring that one with you. That can get you some primary damage if you've got range. Just look through these, figure out a build that kind of plays into your playstyle, and then make sure you're kind of sticking with what can work. And if you're trying to check every box, more power to you. I'm not. Just when it goes for points, find a build that works. And then make sure you are doing the ridiculous, like, emote, finish, every powerful and champion enemy. And that's going to boost your points up pretty high. And that should be it. So if you're doing the strikes, make sure you're, working on getting as many medals as possible, trying to get an efficient loadout. If you're going for supremacy, just work through the matches, try and pick up crests, find a build that works for you. I would recommend trying the scout for some range. SMG's not bad either. Run a strand subclass at basically all times. That's going to help you get your strand kills quicker, so you don't have to worry about that one. And other than that, again, remember those farms for platinum medallions, either Neptune or Shirochi at the raid. It's up to you, 6 of one, half dozen of another. I like the Neptune one. And then pretty much at all times, since I'm going to be running Supremacy some of the time anyway, make sure you have this Crucible card when you're running that. If you play Trials this weekend, cool. But for now, since I'm going to be running Supremacy, get that card and knock out the objective. That's most of the guides that I can give you right now. I will do a video over the weapon rolls I'm looking for both title and Taraxipos. That'll be separate. And then for now, that should keep you guys occupied for a minute for Guardian games. So may the best class win. If you guys enjoyed the video, drop a like below. Leave a comment if you've got, anything that I missed for efficiency or whatever, builds, loadouts, whatever, or just say hello. You can find me on Twitch, streaming over there, on Twitter. But if you're new here, we are less than 1,500 away from 100,000 subs. So if you're new to the channel and you want to support me, just hit that subscribe button, hit the alert bell so my future videos make it to you, and good luck out there, everybody.